people have a pretty good way of putting themselves into other people's shoes, especially if you compare us to basically any other animal. I mean, we're able to think into the future, we're able to remember parts of the past and connect that to our own experiences, and then we're able to see someone else and see their experience and empathize with them, which a lot of animals, I would say, don't do nearly as much. I mean, obviously, there's like a surface level, like if the dog sees that you're in danger, then they'll feel bad, but um, not usually. Like, if a dog sees, well, if like a dog had an idea of something, they wouldn't be able to like empathize with it because it's not really doing so much processing. Anyway, um, what I'm trying to say here is that humans can be told an idea of something. They can be told people have been murdered in the past, and then that person can understand. Um, I mean, they can also not understand. They could be a psychopath and decide that they're not going to care, or maybe not even decide, but they just won't care because they don't have the sort of brain wiring that most humans should have. But if you have normal brain wiring, and you're a normal person, then you should be able to understand murder is bad, stealing is bad, other people have been stolen from, other people have been murdered, and that was sucky for them, and so I shouldn't do it. Um, and so that brings me to abortion. So if there's a person who gets an abortion, obviously I cannot experience that in my entire life because I'm not a girl, uh, or a woman, whatever. And so some people, not every person, but some people would say that means I'm not allowed to talk about it because I'm a guy. I'm never going to experience it. It doesn't really affect me, so I shouldn't really have an opinion. I shouldn't really talk about it. And that's sort of in a similar vein of thinking as people can only relate to other people of their skin color. So in a movie, there needs to be a black person and a white person and a Hispanic person and every other, the Asian people, the brown people, all the different groups of people need to be represented because otherwise they're not going to feel like, they're represented. They're not going to feel like they can relate to the characters. And I think that's kind of ridiculous because we're able to relate ourselves to literal animals. We can watch The Lion King and feel related to the lion. I'm not a lion. Never will be a lion. I'm not gonna be a furry. I'm all right. I'm good. Um, some people might be lions. They might think they're lions, and maybe they relate a little bit better. Um, but I'd say we can relate to a lot of things, and so I don't need to see a white guy on a TV screen to relate to them because skin color doesn't affect their character. It doesn't matter. Skin color doesn't matter. Their race doesn't matter. Where they were born doesn't matter. All that matters is that there's a character with some sort of human emotion, some sort of human feature. It doesn't have to be physical. It's supposed to be something like mental, something inside of them that makes them human. The Lion King, the the little lion boy. I don't remember names, so I don't remember his name. Mufasa or something. Simba, I don't know. And the little lion boy, he has inside of him. He's strong. He's proud, and his dad dies, and so then he feels weak, and so he runs away. That's a human thing. Your person that loves you dies. That's a very human interaction, and honestly, that's just a Hamlet knockoff, but you know what I mean. Um, and I can relate to this lion, and so I don't need diversity in movies. Like if it was all black people, I'd still be able to relate to it, obviously, because why would that affect how I view the movie? That's crazy. That'd be racism. Um, and so that goes back to abortion. Can I not talk about abortion because I'll never get one? Well, I can imagine, not perfectly, obviously, but I can imagine that situation. Just like I can imagine someone's sister getting murdered. Like, yeah, it's a terrible situation. I can imagine my own sister getting murdered. I can imagine my own sister getting an abortion. Like, it's bad, and I can't really understand what it's like to actually get a knife thrust through my heart, and I can't really imagine what it's like to actually get the needle into my, but I can still imagine, like, pain. I've had pain before. I can just sort of try to understand that. And obviously it's not the same, but it's similar, and humans can relate. And so I think the ultimate solution is that we should not be trying to put people into bubbles and saying, policing what they can or can't understand. You can never understand me, mom. You don't understand what it's like to be me. That's a very teenager, adolescent, um, really immature view of the world, I'd say, which I know is ironic for me to say. Um, but yeah, I would say be more mature. Don't don't think that other people don't understand what you're going through, because they're going through a lot more than you think they are, and they can relate a lot better than you think they can most of the time, as long as they're not crazy. If they're crazy, then of course there's going to be exceptions to every rule, um, but within reason.